drummers and his fabulous music makers band. So let's go with the first happy, snappy polka called Let the Sun Shine In. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Polish American Community Fair dances. We are an organization here located in the south suburbs, and what we do is we raise money for scholarships for students of Slavic extraction to better their education, whether it be at the university level of education, at a trade school, or just any type of educational funding that we can give a student who wants to better themselves in this life here on God's green earth. Okay, so that's what we're all about. We're celebrating our 10th anniversary this year, and we are very happy to say that we've been in existence for 10 years, bringing you good, happy, snappy polka music and good times throughout the south suburbs. Many of you remember we did have one of our fairs here in the Park Forest Plaza about 4 or 5 years ago, and it was a very, very successful one. In fact, the last fair that we had out in Creswell, Illinois, we've attracted over 30,000 people in 2.5 days. So we are pretty well known. We do like to present our shows wherever we can, and we'd like to thank you people very much for inviting us here this evening. Okay, Joe, let's go with some more happy, snappy polka music.
Okay, here we go. One called Yambor Polka.
Okay, that was some happy, snappy polka music. Many of you may not know where the polka originated, or how the polka came about, how the steps came about, and what have you. All of the costumes that you see up here this evening, ladies and gentlemen, represent a different area or region in Poland. Okay? Each of the colors you see has some significance also. Some costumes are worn during certain times of the year. Christmas and Easter are the biggest holidays in Poland for the Polish people. Christmas is usually say Wesołe Świąt Bożego Narodzenia, which means happy holidays on the occasion of the Lord's birth. For Easter, we would say Wesołego Alleluja, which simply means happy hallelujah. Poland is a very Christian nation. All of our traditions are centered around Christianity, very, very much so, and around the family. And to tell you a little bit more about how the polka came about in Europe, I'm going to ask Joanne Ingalls to come up and give you a little dissertation on how the polka was started and a little background about the polka. Joanne?
Give me a minute to catch my breath here. The polka originated in Bohemia, which is a region of Czechoslovakia, about 1830. Okay. It originated in Bohemia, which is a region of Czechoslovakia, about 1830, and was introduced into Western Europe shortly afterwards. It reached Paris in 1840, and finally around 1930, it reached the United States. You can tell it really takes a lot to do that polka. It was gradually refined and simplified and used by many composers for such forms as ballet and the opera. There are many versions of the polka, and almost every country has its own. And as in America, the polka differs from city to city and state to state. The polka music is written in 2/4 time, and the polka is a lively and sometimes vigorous dance. A popular characteristic of the polka is the Polish hop, which was believed to have originated in Poland, but was adopted by the Americans in the United States. The Polish polka is a dance that is danced almost flat-footed. Speaking of American editions, the polka step has been used in many folk dances, the Western swing or square dance. And Mexico has also adopted the Polish step in some of its traditional dances due to the fad of the Vero polka, which we just played a few minutes ago. And from what I understand, the polka, when it was introduced into Mexico, caught on very well. Thank you.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, entertaining us this evening, we have, as I mentioned in the onset, Joe Yambor and his Music Makers. They were the band that played for President Reagan when he visited Chicago Heights a year or so ago. So Joe's been around for a very, very long time. And Joe, why don't you introduce the fellows of the band to our audience, huh?
Okay. On saxophone, we have John Pajignat from Chicago Heights. On trumpet, we have Joe Lee from Chicago Heights. And on drums, we have Bill Schuler from Chicago Heights. And yours truly, Joe Yambor from Chicago Heights.
Okay, also, as you can see, we start our youngsters very, very, very young. So we get that rhythm, you know, when they're very small. And there she is. Hi, honey. Okay, we're going to have one more waltz now, I think, right, Joe?
Right.
And then we'll go into some specialty numbers by some of our individual talents up there. Thank you.
Okay, we'll do one called the Blue Skirt Waltz.
We want you to join in with us. Come on.
I'd like to have your name, sir. You want to give us your name? What is your name?
Carl Borges.
Carl Borgeson. Did you like doing the polka and the waltz and all that?
I like polka and waltz both.
You like to do the polka, you say?
Yes.
Could I ask you how many years young are you, sir?
How many years I am? 70.
70. Well, congratulations. Let's sing happy birthday to this man for being 70 years old. Let's all sing happy birthday to this guy, huh? Okay? Happy birthday. To you. And happy birthday to you. Happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Skolak means we'll live 100 years in the Polish language.
Okay, now we're going to do a little polka. We're going to have a little demonstration of how the steps of the polka are formed, and that's going to be done by Franny and Debbie, along with Audrey Geiger and Joanne Ingalls. Okay? What's our next polka, Joe?
You gotta be my baby. baby, and I know that you're my baby, but it seems to me that you got broken eyes. If you wanna be my baby, it's got to be my baby. You can't keep your fingers into sugar and pie. I remember I needed my love, you said you needed, and I believe that I was fine. If you wanna be my baby, and you're gonna be my baby, ain't nobody's baby like mine. Well, I heard was another, so I went to his mother, if anyone's been coming around on me. She gave me no satisfaction, so now I must take action. I just think I'll hang around and see. If you wanna be my baby, and you're gonna be my baby, then you gotta come and let me know that you wanna be my baby, and you're gonna be my baby. Ain't nobody's baby but mine.
As I told you during the program, that Christianity plays a very, very important part in the Polish heritage and the Polish traditions. And here to give you a little dissertation about how some of our customs are celebrated in Poland during Easter is Miss Ann Lesher. Annie?
Hi everyone. Shaking. And I didn't dance, and I'm shaking. Easter traditions of Poland. Spring comes to Poland early. The sun rises higher, the ice breaks, the frost leaves the ground. The birds on the trees swell, the buds on the trees swell. The black earth invites early sowing and planting. The cattle know that spring has come. Because the Polish people live close to the soil, they too long for a way to express the joy they feel in the glorious and sunny springtime. Here, the church brings them the Easter holy days. First, they have 6 weeks of Lent, calling for voluntary fasting and giving up some of the simple pleasures, thus preparing themselves for the coming of the resurrection, the Feast of Triumph, the holy day that never loses its meaning, that all humanity was redeemed through the suffering and death of our Savior, Jesus Christ. After the Easter dawn church services are completed, the Polish table assumes a prominent role in the day's festivities. All food is blessed by the priest. It is called święconka. Then the egg, the symbol of life, is broken and shared with an exchange of good wishes. Plenty of food is arranged on a large table. Meats such as sausage, hams, loaves, roast, pork predominate. Decorated eggs, sauces, pastries, babki complete the menu. There is a lamp in the middle of the table, molded of butter or pastry, holding the Polish flag. Easter is an occasion of Polish hospitality. Everyone is invited and welcome. To this day, on Saturday afternoon before Easter, baskets of food are brought to the churches and blessed by the priest. Christ is risen. Hallelujah.
Okay, we're going to do a Polish song here. One called the Zosia, and we'll do a Polish vocal on this one.
Joe Yambor and his music makers. Let's hear it for Joey again, huh? Good band. If you like to listen to polka music, you don't have to be some Slavic origin or Polish extraction to enjoy polka music. We found that throughout our many travels throughout the south suburbs here when we put on these shows and the many fairs that we've had. If you like to listen to polka music, you can listen to polka music every day, Monday through Friday, from 3 o'clock in the afternoon until 4:30 over WCEV radio 1450 on your AM dial, okay? Monday you'll have the Ron Yashinsky-Herbert show. On Tuesday it's the Jerry Tarka and his polka show. On Wednesday it's the United Polka Association show. And on Thursday it's Mr. Personality of the Polka Field, Mr. Johnny Hisney. And on Friday it's the Little Richard Polka show and his orchestra. That's on WCEV 1450 on your AM dial every day of the week from 3 until 3:30. We also want to remind you that we are going to have our 10th annual fair of the Polish American Community Fair this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 11th, 12th, and 13th this year. I shouldn't say, you made it sound like it was going to be this weekend, but this year the fair will be Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, September 11th, 12th, and 13th. And it'll be held at Caesars Park and Fairgrounds at 141st and Kenton in Crestwood, Illinois, approximately 2 blocks east of Cicero Avenue. We have a fantastic carnival, a huge carnival in fact, a little mini carnival also for the kiddies, a little smaller rides. We have arts and craft booths, some of the best arts and craftsmen from throughout the south suburban areas of the state of Illinois and the adjoining states of Indiana and Wisconsin. We also have what we like to call a ethnic food fest, where we have booths of prepared ethnic foods from various different types of ethnic backgrounds. We also have the polka bands and polka dancing, example of what you're seeing tonight. And we also will be doing a live polka radio show over WCEV 1450, and that will be in the afternoon by one of the two most prominent polka personalities in Chicago, Mr. Johnny Hisney and Uncle Henry. Okay, so it's a lot of fun. Last year we had over 30,000 people in 2.5 days, and admission is $1. Children under 12 get in free. So we invite you to come out in September. Now, just prior to that, we have a prelude to our fair, which is held in Momence, Illinois, on the Island Park. Many of you are familiar with that, I don't know. This year, the Polish Island Pleasures, as we call it, will be held on Sunday afternoon, August the 16th, at the Polish Island, or at Island Park in Momence, Illinois. Again, the entrance fee or donation is simply $1. Children under 12 will be admitted free. Again, we'll have Polish foods by Pola and Company, is a catering company from Chicago, and we'll have 2 polka bands and a lot of arts and crafts and just a lot of good fun for the whole family, young and old and everybody else in between. So it's a good day out for the family. As you can see in the Polish traditions, we promote the family a lot. We like to do things with the family because we feel that family is a cornerstone of our very life and our very Christianity. So you can see how all of these symbols and all of the parts of our heritage sort of fit into one single unifying factor, meaning our faith in God and our family. Okay, before we take a little intermission, we're going to have Sally and Angie doing a polka. Joe, what polka are we going to do now?
Would you like to love you?
Okay, Angie and Sally. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, before we have an intermission, we're going to give you a special treat. We're going to give you a rendition of the Csárdánach dance, which is a Hungarian dance which was originated in Budapest, Hungary. Okay? And that's going to be done by Sally and Franny, correct? Debbie and Franny, I'm sorry. Debbie and Franny doing the Csárdánach, okay? Annie and Debbie, mother and daughter. Okay, we're going to take about 10-minute intermission, okay, very short. And I was told to make this announcement that the spaghetti sauce will be available downstairs in 46-ounce cans for the low-net price of $5, okay? So maybe you can go and purchase some of this delicious spaghetti sauce during this 10-minute intermission. We'll be back in 10 minutes, okay? The program this evening. Again, I want to remind you that the spaghetti sauce is available to you downstairs in 46-ounce cans for the low price of $5 each, okay? Spaghetti sauce is available downstairs for $5. We also want to remind you that if you are enjoying this program today, give me a show of applause if you're really enjoying this, okay? Okay, if you're enjoying this, the entertainment part of our Polish traditions and our polka traditions, we'd like to invite you to come out to Bloomfest tomorrow, which will be held at the Bloom Township High School cafeteria located in Chicago Heights. And that'll be going on from 1 o'clock in the afternoon until 5 o'clock in the evening. And you can participate in partaking of some delicious ethnic foods from all different type of ethnic backgrounds. And we'll be there with our booth. So if you're enjoying your Polish show today, come on over.